Alrighty, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, and welcome to the bracket stage of Hippo Cup numeral 8. We are getting underway. Our 16 teams have advanced. They're onward into the bracket, and we're starting off in the upper half of that bracket. It is, going to be Group C winners Worldwide Choppers, taking on, that would be Group F, second place team Dadunai, in what really should be an absolute banger. On the left-hand side of your screen is going to be the red team, captained by Fie, Mindfrost ID, Cetus? I don't know. Nissan Scylla, Jackpacks Markram, Lucrece, and GNX. Which is, of course, every time I have to check, the artist formerly known as Dito. Dadunai on the other side, the Chinese stack, captained by Z Numbers, joined by Crystal, Kurumi, David, Lado Fox, Survivor X4, Vita, Dunai, the namesake of the team himself, and CRZ XZ1Z1Z. He's probably just going to be XZ1 or something like that during the match, because that's some letters that are not easy to get out in a hurry during important moments of a map. So that's how that's going to go, most likely, probably. Looking forward to this one, though. Should be a banger. Of course, our first match of this week on this new pool. Worldwide Choppers overall number 4 seed by BWS average, top 6, blah, blah, blah in the tournament. Dadunai number 21 seed. Perhaps could be argued they are somewhat underseeded relative to their strength. Did perform admirably in the group stage, just losing to the top seed in their group, and that went all the way to tiebreaker. Won their other two matches relatively comfortably. Worldwide Choppers, of course, won all three of theirs very easily. You could make the argument that they were in one of the easiest, if not the easiest groups, respectfully to their opponents. Just no one really in that group who could hang with a team constructed that's as strong as that one. But such is life. That's how it goes. Somebody's going to be in an easier group than somebody else, because not every single group is going to be created equal with random drawings. In this one, we have Worldwide Choppers double banning from the Hard Rock pool. It's Hard Rock 4, Crankies, Ran, banned out Hard Rock 1, which is Last Trigger. No, it's Pragmatism. I'm sorry, wrong pool. I'm thinking 3WC. It's Pragmatism. That's the other ban. See, I knew this was going to happen. This is the rare occasion that I'm commentating 2 tournaments at once, so I'm trying to remember 2 pools at the same time. My bad. Dadunai, gonna ban out Nomad 3. Very, very long, pretty standard modern alt map, alongside DT2, which is, of course, DMC. And if you aren't a really good speed team, you're very likely going to have some problems with that particular map. So they get rid of that one. And they're going to jump right into the DT pool nonetheless. It's going to be DT6 first pick. And so that will be Drunkenstein. The DT6 slot, always a fun one. So we'll go into that here first in just a moment or two once everybody gets all settled in. I apologize in advance if I have any issues commentating. I am low-key raw-dogging this match. I have not had anything to drink, and I don't have anything to drink, so if my throat dies, blame me for not being properly prepared. I wish myself the best of luck. I hope you do too. And in the words of Habib himself, this is the just have fun DT slot. This is you just play an enjoyable map, little finger aim control slider stuff going on. It's just a fun little pick. And might I say, very big fan of this pool, and a big fan of the fact that they've been up the longest map in it. You know, I saw some discussion in the map pool feedback channel over the course of this week that was, you know, a little bit anti-Nomad 3, and not because Nomad 3 is like a bad map per se or anything like that, but it's just this really long, really standard, like, modern Nomad 3. There's just nothing to it. getting rid of that is just like, hey, we don't want to deal with this, like, super long, kind of boring type of map archetype. All right, and away we will go into our first map of this match. We've got Nissan, Jackpax, Lucrease, and Cetus against Lido Fox, David, Survivor, and Crystal. Always gotta look out for Crystal, I feel, as a primary carry for this Dadunai team. He is so good in the early to mid to, kind of early, late stages, and even late stages in a rank restricted tournament, might fall off a little in the grand finals, but in a tournament like this, might not have that same issue. On the other side, you got some strong DC players over there, right? So that whole roster is scary on this map. You have a couple early breaks from Dadunai. It's Lido Fox and David to both fall, and the four-way still being held for worldwide choppers. There goes my voice already. All right, this is going to be a good time. Pray for me, chat. I might need it. Four-way through halfway mark for worldwide choppers, over 1 million scorer lead. Both Hiddens having broken for Dadunai, not helping them out. They do have the double FC on Crystal and Survivor, so they're still kind of keeping in it as best they can. But as we go into this tapping in the last third of the map, they're going to need some opportunities to be presented to them. And there they are. It's Nissan and Lucrease to both fall. Combo advantage to Dadunai, and they're going to pull this score back as long as they can continue to hold all their members through these kick sliders, through these little finger control seconds. There goes Survivor, Lido Fox, Jackpax, Cetus, Nissan. It is down to Crystal as mentioned. And what did we say? Crystal, the carry for Dadunai, is doing his job to perfection. Brings the FC into the ending, and it will be an opening map FC for Crystal to carry Dadunai to their first point of this match. I love it. Crystal is so good, man. Such a reliable player. You put him in for a map, he's going to put up a good score. He's going to carry your team, and there he proves that to the best of his abilities. Excuse me. Goodness, I apologize. As I said in advance, might have a little cough and some throat clearing going on here this morning. But it will be the next pick over to Worldwide Choppers for their own first selection. We'll see how they get things going here. Dadunai, not a team you can ever overlook, no matter how strong your roster may be. When you have Crystal as a carry, when it's a Score v1 tournament where solo carry is really possible, always a terrifying factor. I don't mean to denigrate any of the rest of Dadunai, for the record, but obviously Crystal just at such a high level all the time, so consistently great. Is going to be an opening DT4 pick for Worldwide Choppers. We're going to stay in the DT pool. Another quick type of map here, just 1.5 minutes long. This is the old. There's a couple maps in here that are the old, but this is the extremely old. The map IDs of DTs 4 and 5 are 52,000 something and 45,000 something respectively. So two very, very old maps. This one, kind of the old-fashioned style of map, right? You've got some bursts kind of thrown in an uncomfortable fashion, geometric patterns, a lot of grid snap mapping. One of those maps that you do have to be comfortable with that ancient style because that's exactly what it's here to test. And some people have it, some people don't. So, got to be on your toes and ready to go. with us staying in the DT pool, we are going to see a pretty decent number of the same players. You see, let's see. We see Z numbers coming in to replace Survivor. And we see Mindfrost coming in to replace Cetus. But Nissan, Lucrease, Jackpack's the same. Crystal, David, and Ladofox also the same. And wow, the client just is not having a good time trying to load this map in. Come on, guys. I promise I tested all these maps, so they all do work. Okay, there we are. And it will be a couple early breaks. You can see, you know, those geometric patterns just perfectly lined up all over the place. It's very much a product of its era. The music choice as well as the mapping style. With the advantage Worldwide Choppers at the moment, couple of misses coming from Z numbers and from David. Crystal with a very early break as well. Nissan has had a couple of misses, but it's not going to be too big of a factor as they do have a triple FC on the other members of Worldwide Choppers. Couple 100,000 point lead through the early goings. See how well they can maintain that advantage. Didn't work out for them last time. Maybe it'll work out better here. Anybody else see Z numbers just have like a pixel hit? Oh my goodness. This cursor was on the barest edge of that note. Really impressive stuff here from Worldwide Choppers. Holding the triple FC. Third of the way to go still though, so there is some time. You still have the FC on Ladofox, you still have the big combo, basically FC on Crystal, but it's a double miss on Z numbers and David. And with Nissan breaking with the other three holding for Worldwide Choppers, that's going to just do it for this map in all likelihood. Unless they full reset right now, which I don't suspect that they're likely to do. And instead it's going to be Z numbers Crystal. All right, a good first pick for both teams. Worldwide Choppers looking to drop the triple FC here into the last few moments of this pick. And there you go. Very well done for Worldwide Choppers. It's a three-way. Mindfrost, Lucrease, and Jack Pax. Jackington, Paxington, thoughts? Is this something? This is probably not anything. Nissan with the very good accuracy, 4 100s, but 4 misses. Similarly, Z numbers, only 1 100, but 7 misses. Quite unfortunate for those couple of members of this lobby. And that will tie things up 1-1 in the early stages. Both teams looking good on their first picks. As you would hope. As you would perhaps anticipate. I'm not sure what they're talking about in game chat. Does anybody know what that word means? I don't know what that word means. And all right, so this is how they get us back. They pick a minute 21 map and a minute and 32 map, and then they pick the longest map in the entire pool. It's gonna be free mode 4 teleportation. This one is, you know, more of that kind of just tapping 4-minute long stamina, but it's with air 8.5 CS5. You know, kind of has that DNB thing where it's just really repetitive triples with some quints thrown in instead of just all being quints. I guess it's not exactly DNB, but you get the idea, right? But it's anti-mod. So we'll see what mods the players choose to run on this. You know, if you're comfortable with precision, I feel that going hard rock on this is going to be pretty easy, but the spacing might get a little challenging. Hard to say for sure. Very interested in what mods we get players running. It's you know, really going to be like a light anti-mod consistency check because this one is just so incredibly long and frankly quite repetitive, right? The song just does the same thing over and over. So you're just playing the same stuff over and over and over. Crystal isn't playing this. He's oh, nope, there he is. Never mind. I was like, I gotta think that Crystal's perma-lobbied for this team pretty much, unless there's something that's in, like, just raw speed. That might be the only thing he wouldn't play. I think he is croaking. I'm sure it's not pronounced croaking. He said he wasn't that hungover. I don't know what's going on. Alright, well, GLHF's coming out, so we're going to get going into this. It's Markram, Mindfrost, Lucrece, Jackpacks, Z-Numbers, David, Crystal, and Survivor. Maybe Crystal, Hard Rock, Markram, Hidden. This could be, like, just an overmod Hard Rock, not sure. We'll see. As we get into things. It's going to be Crystal, Hard Rock, Survivor, Hard Rock, Markram, Hidden, and Jackpacks, Hidden. Interesting. Both teams running 2 no mods, both teams running 2 of the same mod, but Worldwide Choppers, it's 2 Hiddens, and for Dadunai, it's 2 Hard Rocks. Which tracks, realistically, for 3 out of those 4. I wasn't sure what to expect as the second mod player for Worldwide Choppers, but all the others picking the mods they did is really unsurprising here. In we go. It's an early break from Survivor to get things started right into that first pattern, but hopefully should be able to settle down here. Z-Numbers falls on the little kick slider jump as well. You really... I mean, this map is so long, like, you can kind of afford to break early because there's so much combo to be built up, obviously, in 4 minutes. And then once you get into this patterning, it's just a lot of the same thing, right? It's a little aim with the triples thrown in. Just not a gigantic challenge, but if you're on Hidden or on Hard Rock, obviously that extra difficulty going to come in with the lower AR Hidden, or the extra, spacing of the Hard Rock. So we'll see how the players end up feeling throughout. It's Survivor the next to fall once more. So Crystal, David on the FC still for Dadunai, but Worldwide Choppers with the 4-way intact through that intro section, about a quarter of the way through. Shoutouts Capsule for making kind of bland but still pretty good songs, I guess you could say. They're nice, just like kind of casual listening sort of music, right? So far so good here for Worldwide Choppers. Have just gotten their first break. It's Markram to fall in the Hidden, but the triple FC still intact, and that's going to serve them well. Double FC for Dadunai with a big backing combo on Z-Numbers. We'll make sure to keep the score in touch. Still a little over half of the map to go, so a lot of time, a lot of score. This goes to... goodness me, is it 1800 combo? I forget offhand. Nope, 1600 combo, excuse me. So, you're only halfway into the combo at this stage, which makes sense because you're halfway into the map. But a lot of score still to come is what I'm saying, so. Never any chance to let up in this one unless your opponents are just fully running it down mid. Which nobody's doing, because this is not that hard. And kind of back into this sort of main riff vibe here. Little aim, little triples, couple sliders, nothing too intense. Players just holding the consistency high here, man. The consistency flag is flying for Mindfrost, Lucrece, Jackpacks, Crystal, and David. And Z-Numbers not that far behind either. There goes Mindfrost, and that's a big one for Dadunai's favor, as you are now down to 2 FCs per team, but Dadunai has a lot of backing combo on Z-Numbers. He's 400 combo up on Markram, and obviously Mindfrost just breaking there means he's got nothing. Survivor on the 800 combo as well. So this lead is going to go over. And that's what I'm saying, with Score V1, with these gigantic combos, those scores get so big, even with no fail on, you can really pull the score back pretty rapidly if you keep it kind of in touch and an opponent who's on an FC finds a break. So lead over to Dadunai, who have a double FC to match the double FC of Worldwide Choppers, but just as mentioned, that superior backing combo doing the work for them. Space triples, it's Z-Numbers. Oh, it's Crystal to fall. That is not good news for Dadunai. Mind Frost does break, but it's now the double FC on the side of Worldwide Choppers, just the FC on David, and there goes Survivor as well. It's worst case scenario for Dadunai coming into the ending here. Double FC for Worldwide Choppers, big backing combo on Markram for Worldwide Choppers, and they only have to bring back a million score, and there it's going to go. You just could not afford that for Dadunai, unfortunately, and that's the value of the comfort mods, I suspect. The no mod on Lucrece and the hidden on Jackpacks, as well as the hidden pref mod on Markram. Perhaps a little bit easier than the hard rock that Dadunai had to rely on. They had those big hard rock combos on Crystal and Survivor, and unfortunately, we're not able to hold. The S ranks come in, but no FCs on that bottom row for them. David finishes out the no-mod FC, but he's matched by Lucrece, and that is Jackpacks with the second FC on that side with the hidden on top. And it all adds up to a Worldwide Choppers victory on the point. Only 1.7 million, very, very close when you consider team scores up near 100 million. But be it 1 million or 10 million, a victory is still a victory, and that's Breakpoint Worldwide Choppers, their own pick to come, heading into another one of these short old DT picks. They go old DT pick into old DT pick, DT5 to come next with Tamakui in that DT5 slot, 248 BPM. This one, Angel Honey, a little bit of aim, a little bit of old. It's going to be a lot like DT4 aesthetically, if not how it plays. Big opportunity here for Worldwide Choppers, who took a pretty comfortable victory on their preceding old map DT pick. We'll see if they can make that happen again. If they do, it'll be the consolidated break point for their favor. Like we should be about set here for this map. It's gonna be Nissan, Fiat, Lucrece, Jackpacks, Z Numbers, Ladofox, Crystal, David. Seen a lot of the same people in the early stages of this match. Seems like relatively minimal player swaps on a lot of these picks, which is fine when they're picking maps that are similar. Obviously, that's gonna happen. Lucrece wants to run back that FC on Free Mod 4. Unfortunately, that's not how this is going to go. And in to DT5 now. As said, a short map and a somewhat important one. Still early stages of the match, so it won't be, end of days for Dadunai if they can't get the breakpoint back immediately right here, but the sooner the better in that regard. And here we are. This is kind of that old aim style again with, some linear and some geometric stuff. Really, to me, a fair amount in common with DT4, maybe minus some of those bursts, I guess, and a little more about that style of aim. Also, these hit sounds are bizarre. I don't know if it's just me. I reset the hit sounds in the skin and everything, and for some reason there's just missing hit sounds on those little 4-note patterns. I don't know why. Anyway, into the Ki we go. You've got a few notes in a linear fashion. You've got some triples in a linear fashion. That is the spirit of the era in which this map was made, all the way back in 2010. And that's going to be a big break from Jackpacks right at the end of that Ki. Exactly the halfway mark of the map, which is just as bad on V1 as it is on V2 in terms of what it does to your score. It's going to be advantage Dadunai holding the 4-way, or 3-way with David missing in the first 10 combo, question mark? There There is still another one of those Ki sections, so this is not quite over as of yet, but it will give Dadunai a bit of an advantage if they can hold the four-way. I'm telling you, those 4-note are the hit sounding is just broken. I don't know why. Oh, there goes David. Not good, not good. It's a 200 combo advantage for Worldwide Choppers, and with only 1,000,000 points separating the teams, that may be all that they require, especially since David is a hidden player, while Worldwide Choppers have both of their hidden FCs still intact. That lead is going to just barely maybe flicker on over. It's going to be the last seconds. Onto the spinner! And they hold on to Dadunai. 250,000 points is all, but that's enough. Oh, they get away with one there. Just late enough. David managed to hold that combo. Boy, about, I don't even know, 15 combos sooner that break had come. It might have been bad news bears for Dadunai, but instead they managed to maintain the lead, and they take the point. That is... very unfortunate for Jackbacks. Very fortunate for David. 6 other FCs feel irrelevant. It's really just, you know, the smallest of differences, right? It's very, very tiny things. And that will tie us up at 2 apiece. Breakpoint and breakpoint right on back over. It just resets affairs. That's really, really important, I feel, for Dadunai, especially considering how one-sided the DT4 was on the previous Worldwide Choppers pick. For Dadunai to be able to come back on another old-style DT map and immediately win it for a break point is very impressive composure from them. And it will be their own next pick to come. Obviously got broken on their previous pick, on that free mod 4. Nothing really else in the pool quite along those particular back out to 3-2 in their favor. No misses heading into the first Ki, but this is where things are going to really kick off into this chorus. Dead even between the teams. Here we go. The sliders kick in, the aim expands out across the farthest reaches of the screen at times. Will the players be up to the task? So far, so good. They are. Aim comfort high in this lobby, it appears. It's going to be a break to trade. Mindfrost and David on approximately the same note. And so, an actual advantage to be gained there by Worldwide Choppers because David is on the hidden. And Worldwide Choppers still have their hiddens both intact with full combos. So it will be slight advantage, you know, that multiplier in favor of Worldwide Choppers, but really not a lot to write home about. It's going to be all about the back quarter of this map, the last Ki with its slightly larger jump patterns. Oh, it's Lucrece to miss next. Didn't even get into the chorus. That's very good news for Dadunai, as their lead will now grow out a bit. There goes Jackpacks as well, and the aim pick seems to be working out for Dadunai. Triple FC intact heading into the very last moments. Here we go. Will they hit the last pattern? Now Crystal and Lodofox will. It's a double FC for Dadunai on those two members. Z numbers with a very late break. Genex does finish out the FC for Worldwide Choppers, the only one on that side. And a well-played map for Dadunai, double full combo. Crystal with some solid ack on Nomad. Lodofox slightly lagging just a little bit farther behind on the accuracy front, but with the hidden applied. And the score goes 3-2 in favor of Dadunai, just as they hoped. We're going to get a very speedy Fremod 3 pick here from Worldwide Choppers, and this was a skill set that I was curious if they'd go into. With Dadunai banning out DT2 and Chinese teams generally being, you know, decent, not great at speed, I was wondering if Worldwide Choppers might go into this skill set, and here we are. This Fremod 3 is, you know, something you'd equate to a Nomad 5 in traditional slot pooling, or, you know, I think it's Fremod 3 or 4 in OWC when they were still running, you know, that kind of Fremod speed pick. So we'll check the players tapping. 260 BPM here, just shy of 2.5 minutes long. And I mean, you can hear what you're getting yourself into pretty clearly. One of the only real speed maps in this pool, obviously, DT2 would have been the other one, but that was banned out. So Dadunai saying we'll take our chances on Fremod 3. We're going to ban out DT2. Obviously could have banned both, but chose Nomad 3 for the second ban instead. But other than that, there's just not any other speed in this pool. There's, you know, Nomad 2, which is kind of slow Nomad 2. Other than that, that's it. So you're not going to get a lot of opportunities for picks like this if you're Worldwide Choppers. You want to take absolute best advantage of it here. Not a must win, but obviously your own pick at 2-3 score down, you know, it starts to get into the back half of the match. Starts to be those stages where any loss can send you over the cliff of no return. Okay, Minecraft saying he's stuck, but the jail's all coming out, so I guess they got it figured out. And away we go. Nissan Mindfrost, Lucrece, and Cetus. Z numbers, Lodofox, Crystal, and David. And this was the kind of question mark for me. If Crystal has to come in for speed, how will that play out? The answer is perhaps suboptimally, but oh god, the accuracy, yeah. just throw you right into 260 BPM streams at the front end of this map. Set us on the SS through that intro. But nobody else in the lobby having a super great time on those first few bits of combo. Still no breaks. Well, David maybe missing the first like 15 combo. So it will be a very, it's a small lead for Worldwide Choppers. Ooh, an accuracy advantage on their side as well. There's a small combo lead. But I mean, hey, it's all about the combo at the end of the day, right? Ooh, finger control sliders. A lot of the speed test as well. And we still haven't seen any major breaks. But you got a couple 96s on the side of Dadunai versus 98s, and a high 99 on the side of Worldwide Choppers. So the comfort level clearly higher. But will that equate to a win on the map? It's looking likely, for sure. But misses can still happen. It's Easton to fall apart as well as Mindfrost. Oh dear. Oh dearie me. That is not what you want to see for Worldwide Choppers, who have the accuracy advantage, who have the combo in check. But now that's 2FC's gone, they just fell apart on that little figure control doubles pattern. And Dadunai take full advantage for the moment. Still a decent amount of map left, and there goes Z-Numbers and Crystal, and that's going to level things out. It's a 2v2 on the board. Ludofox and David against Lucrece and Cetus. Dadunai was able to establish a couple million score lead that Worldwide Choppers still need to pull back, and it's Cetus to break! Oh, you can't afford that into the late goings of the map when we're all over 1,000 combo. With Ludofox and David still holding on, Lucrece doing everything he can for his team, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Dadunai out in front by 5 million into the last moments of this map. This is not the outcome I think most people would have expected on this pick in this matchup, but there we are. It's exactly the one that we get anyway, and Dadunai take another break point. And they will take a 4-2 lead. That's 3 points on the trot for the Chinese roster with a shock upset on the Speed Free Mod pick. I did not see that coming. I don't know if anybody else did either. Lucrece dropping the FC, but it's matched by Ludofox and David double FCing. And Crystal and Z-Numbers putting up pretty solid backing scores as well. Maybe, you know, like I said, China good, not necessarily great at speed. They're able to combo through it just fine. Yeah, they didn't have the greatest accuracy, but 97's not bad. And when you hold the combo, it's more than enough. It's more than adequate. It's everything you need. And that makes this match a little more interesting. Dadunai now 2 points away from the finish line with their own pick coming next. They've gone some interesting places in this match. Places that they, wells to which they cannot return, shall we say. DT6, nothing else really super comparable to that. Free Mod 4 that they lost. And then the No Mod 1, not really another true aim pick in this pool either, other than DT1. So it's, again, you know, a very wide dispersion of skill sets in this map pool. And it is great, because it tests a lot of different things. But at the same time, if you have an advantage on a skill set, you're not going to really have a lot of opportunities to dip back into that same bucket. So we're going to have to see where Dadunai choose to go next. After taking that victory, what's the opportunity for them to consolidate? And it will be into that Hard Rock pool, and it will be that Hard Rock 3 pick. I did expect this to be a possibility when discussing their preceding selection, because they looked good on Hard Rock. They looked pretty good on the Flow finger control. Obviously did lose the Free Mod 4, but kept it very close. No Mod 1 has, you know, kind of the flow element of the sliders in the aim patterns. And as well, of course, Worldwide Choppers double banning out the Hard Rocks with the HR1, HR4 bans does perhaps indicate not their favorite mod pool. All of that means that this seems on paper like a very good pick for Dadunai, but nothing is ever over until the map actually gets played, so, you know, gotta slow the roll on any of these picks that maybe seem favored one way or the other. get set here for what really is, to this point, of course, that's kind of how it goes, right? To this point, the most important map of this match. Dadunai leading 4-2, their own pick here in this Hard Rock pool. You win this, you're up 5-2. You have match points the rest of the way through as the underdog in this matchup. If you lose this, then Worldwide Choppers have the opportunity to tie things up 4 apiece and head into 1 pick per team remaining. So, a lot on the line here once you get, I think, anything from the 7th pick onward into best of 11. You know, it's kind of the same thing. I talk about this a lot. Same thing in tennis, right? You know, sets are first to 6. So every game, once you get to, 3-2, 3-3, really feels important. And it really does feel the same way in OSU. In a best of 11, once you get onward into those, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th picks, every one of them just feels so much more important than the ones that came before. The pressure continues to mount more and more. And we'll see how the players handle it here. It's going to be Mindfrost, Dito, Gukris, Cetus against Z-Numbers, Ladofox, Crystal, and David once more for Dadunai. Into a little Hard Rock tapping flow check. It's an early break for Mindfrost on the hidden. GNX struggling a bit with the accuracy early on, but does manage to maintain the full combo. It's a small lead early on for Dadunai. Very note-dense map, of course. And some rhythm changes to contend with as well, right? You do have the little 1/3 rhythm patterns throughout, and they can catch you if you're not careful. It's Mindfrost struggling a bit here. Another miss from him. Fortunately for Worldwide Choppers, the other 3 FCs being maintained. Here's those 1/3s. Spacing of these patterns can be a little tricky. Mindfrost once more, really not having a good time. It's very, very fortunate for Worldwide Choppers that all of their misses are consolidated onto Mindfrost, though, because that does mean they have an opportunity if misses come through from Dadunai. If you're going to have multiple misses, might as well have them all on the same player instead of spreading them out. Gives you those big combos building up on GNX, on Cetus, and on Lucrece, but Mindfrost is really not having a good time here, and it's starting to be the point of it not even mattering what the teammates are doing unless Dadunai fully fall apart in the last quarter of the map. This is some very impressive OSU being played by the Chinese team here, guys. The 4-way FC on this map into the very last portion, and there goes Dito, and it just leaves a double FC for Worldwide Choppers, a 7-8 million score lead for Dadunai, who are just going out of their minds on this pick, man. It seemed up in the air, this match did, after they gave up that early break point, but since then, they have been on it. And that is a 4-way FC for Dadunai on Hard Rock 3. Just like that. And that's going to be match point now. 5-2 goes the lead. What a performance. That is very impressive work from all 4 members. Great scores from everyone. 99.2 AC on Ladofox on the HDHR FC. And not going down too much from there to David and Crystal. Z-Numbers just a little farther behind. Who cares? It's an FC. Accuracy be danged. Double FC did come through, of course, from Lucrece and from Cetus, but without the help on the backing combo, it just didn't matter. Mindfrost had a very rough time there. It seems like he got very poorly 4th playered. Dito, obviously the S rank, so it's just a slider break, but it's hard to compete with a 4-way. Not a lot Worldwide Choppers could have done there. You got a 4-way yourself and have better accuracy. I mean, you really can't fault them. It's just a really, really good performance from Dadunai. Match has gone in an interesting way that I don't know that I anticipated. Really, I mean, the free mod 4 was kind of a last second thing, but to go 4 maps on the trot after that is a real testament to Dadunai's ability not to be bothered and just stay the course, I guess. Keep things going. So Worldwide Choppers now 5-2 down. They have to win 2 of their own picks and a breakpoint. This is, of course, the advantage of having last pick is Dadunai will only get 1 match point on their own selection. And so if Worldwide Choppers can find maps that they're comfortable with for their own 2 picks, they just need a breakpoint in the middle of them to force a tiebreaker. Easier said than done, because it does require winning 3 points in a row just to force the tiebreaker, and then to win the tiebreaker as well. But the path there is a little easier than if it were, the other way around, and Dadunai were going to have 2 picks of their own to try to close it out.
And it's going to be back to the DT pool once more. This is going to be their third DT pick out of 4 maps, and you know and the other one was a speed pick, so you can kind of see where Worldwide Choppers is trying to go in this match. So we go DT1, and this really is just a DT1. What you see is what you get. It is precisely what it says on the tin. It's comfy. Got some burst, got some aim. In classic Hippo Cup fashion, all the way back to 2013, Warrior, one of those mappers you used to see around quite a bit. Shout out to Warrior, whose current rank is 192,000. He just got taken off the leaderboards, I think, because he was like 7K. Wait, what is it? Actually, I'm confused. Did he get rolled back? Is there like T on this? He was ranked 7K, but now he has 3,500 PP and he's 192K. I'm not sure if this was a rework. What is somebody who knows? Somebody who knows, tell me, because it's not strictly relevant, but that's very interesting. Anyway, shout outs Laurier, who is still mapping stuff for the record. Like, he's still around, but I'm saying I kind of associate him more with that old era. But in we go. It's Cetus, Nissan, Lucrece, Fie against Z Numbers, Ladofox, David, and Crystal. Cetus with the early break. I was going to say this is a map that, much like Fremont 3, you would not be surprised to see Dadunai give up, but you also can't be surprised if they, perform well on it, because they just seem to be good at everything right now. They're playing at an extremely high level today, and you can kind of only watch in awe and respect for what they're doing in this match. Because it's not like Worldwide Choppers are, generally speaking, playing badly, though there are a couple of early breaks from Fie to match the one from Cetus. But, I mean, against a 4-way FC, like, at this stage in the map, early going still, but what can you do other than fall behind a little bit? And, I mean, really, it's just impressive stuff from Dadunai. It's a 4-way full combo through a third of the map. Nissan, Lucrece are matching. Cetus has recovered combo, just the early break. Fie struggling a little bit, but can get it together potentially. A lot of map to come. No further breaks to come as of yet as we head into this next Ki time. Who might fall on the bursts or on the aim? The answer seems to be no one. Entire lobby very, very comfortable. There's going to be a break from Ladofox at long last, breaking the 4-way FC from Dadunai. Wait, David goes down as well. Cetus matches one of those. It's a double FC against double FC combo advantage to Worldwide Choppers, but Fie falls, and that's going to give away that combo advantage, unfortunately. So you have a 2v2. No, Lucrece goes as well, and it's now Z Numbers and Crystal just against Nissan, and that might have just done it. I think this might be it for this match. Dadunai, man, the double FC into the ending. Z Numbers and Crystal doing their jobs here. Nissan misses at the very end. And man, oh man. What a performance here from Dadunai, man. I don't even know. Like, obviously a good team. Obviously we're going to put forward a good showing in the match. Like, they were going to set good scores, but a 6-2 final score is more than I think just about anybody might have anticipated out of this team, regardless of how strong they were, because you anticipate Worldwide Choppers as such a strong team to really keep this one close, but when you're required to 3 or 4-way FC multiple maps in the pool, it's just always going to be a rough time. And Dadunai, man, really, really impressive stuff from them, and they will be moving onward into the next round. That'll be our first quarterfinalists in quite impressive fashion. 6-2 final score over tournament overall number 4 seed Worldwide Choppers. Just Dadunai showing up on the day. Really cool to see that level of play out of them, and we'll see what they can do going onward. Their next match next week will be against either John Porler, which is the number 1 overall seed captained by Bashiman, or against Pelmeshki, the Russian team. The winner of that match will be the opponent for Dadunai in the quarters, so that'll be a good one. Can't wait for that. And Worldwide Choppers, yeah, they dropped down to losers, but not out of it by any means. They will get the loser of that aforementioned other match. And I think, to sum it up, what this really says to me is just that these teams in this bracket stage are really, really good. Everyone plays well. Everyone is strong. And you just can't be off your game at all, because the playing field is so much more level this year with the rank restriction in place than it was in the past iteration last year, where it was, okay, we've got a couple super teams, they're going to be in the grand finals, woo. But now it's really anybody's game, and so you've got to be on top of things, and Dadunai were on top of things today by a score of 6-2. They survive, they win, they advance onward over Worldwide Choppers into the quarterfinals. They will go. And in quicker fashion than anticipated. We now have an hour break until our next match. That'll be coming at 16 UTC. It will be -45 versus -45 against Carlos and 8. So that's Yokespie's team on the left-hand side of that one against Liruman and the South American with one, I believe, Portuguese member on the other side. So that should be a good matchup as well. Stay tuned for that one. We'll be back in an hour. We're going to take the stream down. Until then, thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed that match as much as I did, because even if it wasn't necessarily 100% competitive, there were great performances on both sides. Dadunai, just the better team. As Dan Miller of Detroit Lions Radio says, job well done, job better done on this day. Team Dadunai. We'll see them next week. We'll see both these teams next week, and we'll see you guys in an hour. The Hippo Cup round of 16 rolls onward here. Hope to see you then. But for now, grab yourself some coffee, grab yourselves breakfast, lunch, whatever, an afternoon snack, depending on where you might be, and go hang out. We'll see you in an hour's time. Goodbye until then.